Here is your latest African news. Diaspora. Harvard University creates $100 million slavery reparation fund. America's historically racist institution, Harvard University, has announced it will commit $100 million to redress its role in slavery as more U.S. institutions move toward reparations for historical injustices. Harvard said it was putting the money into a fund to help tackle the educational and social gaps caused by the legacies of the slave trade and racism. The move follows a wide-ranging internal review of the university's role in slavery, the results of which were posted on its website. The 100-page report made several recommendations about how the money should be spent, including the improvement of educational opportunities for descendant communities, honoring enslaved people through memorials and research, and creating partnership with black colleges and universities. It also recommended identifying and supporting direct descendants of black and Native American enslaved individuals who labored on Harvard's campus and who were enslaved by previous Harvard leaders. Harvard was founded in Cambridge, Massachusetts in 1636. The report found that Harvard staff, including 4 presidents, enslaved more than 70 individuals until slavery was outlawed in the state in 1783. The report also found that the university benefited from extensive financial ties to slavery, including donations from slave traders. It said that from the mid-19th century well into the 20th century, Harvard presidents and prominent professors promoted race science and eugenics and conducted abusive research, including the photographing of enslaved and subjugated human beings. Nigeria. Presidential aspirant urges name change for Nigeria. Nigeria's presidential aspirant Adamu Gaba wants the country's name to be changed to the Nigerian Federation, or simply Nigritia. He says the name change will be part of the reforms he will pursue if he wins the elections. Nigerian presidential elections will be held in February 2023. He cited other African countries like Ghana, Kenya, Benin, and Togo that changed their colonially induced names on independence, arguing that identity is everything. Mr. Gaba has also posted a video demonstrating the right way of pronouncing the proposed new name. Rwanda. Opposition leader warns UK-Rwanda migration deal could create conflicts. A Rwandan opposition lawmaker slammed the Rwanda-UK asylum seekers deal, arguing it could create budget difficulties and destabilize the society in the long run. Frank Habineza, a Rwandan opposition lawmaker, has criticized Britain's decision to send asylum seekers to his home country. He is one of the rare critical voices on the matter in the East African country. The president of Democratic Green Party of Rwanda called the deal inhumane, questioning its legality. This comment comes weeks after the British and the Rwandan Foreign Affairs ministers announced what they called a migration and economic development partnership. In the terms disclosed, the agreement will see Britain send to Rwanda those arriving illegally in the UK and they could settle in the African country. Frank Habineza believes this influx of population could destabilize the Rwandan society in the long run and create budget difficulties. The lack of opinion poll on the matter makes it difficult to know how the plan is received by the Rwandans. Mali. Mali accuses France of spying. Mali has reprimanded France for spying after the French military released a video of what is alleged were Russian soldiers burying bodies at a mass grave. Paris said the video, filmed using a drone, was of a military base near Gossi in northern Mali. It accused Russia of joining a campaign to smear departing French soldiers who were kicked out. Mali's military government said the drone illegally flew over the base on 20th April, the day after French forces handed the site back to Mali. It accused France of attempting to destroy the reputation of Malian forces. The military government said French forces were guilty of subversion by publishing false images worked up to accuse the Malian army of responsibility for killing civilians with the aim of tarnishing their image. Authorities added that the bodies were in such an advanced stage of putrefaction that its soldiers could not have been responsible for their deaths. France is winding down its almost decade-long military occupation in the West African state, but in February it was forced to pull out its troops after falling out with the military government, especially over its interference in the country. Tunisia. Tunisian judge detains crew of ship that sank off its coast. A judge from Tunisia detained 7 members of a commercial ship's crew. The commercial ship had sunk off the city of Gabes, a judicial official declared, as authorities thoroughly investigated if the vessel may have sank deliberately. Tunisian officials had said that this month the ship sank as it was sailing to Malta from Equatorial Guinea, loaded with up to 1,000 tons of oil, and the Tunisian Navy was able to rescue all crew members. Officials later mentioned that a specialized diving team was asked to counter a probable environmental disaster. It found that the cargo was not loaded with fuel, but rather was seen to be empty. An investigation was being conducted to determine if the ship sank under normal circumstances or was sunk to obtain compensation from insurance companies, and to look into the possibility of oil smuggling. The crew of the ship were 4 Turks, 2 Azerbaijanis, and 1 from Georgia. The crew claimed that the ship's route documentation had been lost. Ethiopia arrests 4 suspects over hotel bomb attacks. Ethiopian authorities have arrested 4 suspects in connection with April 24th bomb attacks on a hotel in Harar. The explosion happened on Sunday night as Ethiopians across the country celebrated the Easter holiday. 8 people were hurt, 4 of the 8 victims were treated for minor injuries and returned home immediately, while the rest remain in critical condition and are receiving treatment at nearby hospitals. No group has yet claimed responsibility for the attack. The attack comes one day after Ethiopian authorities announced the arrest of 34 suspected members of the Al-Shabaab terror group. Kenya court rules father can get custody of minors. Based on a landmark ruling by a Kenyan court, men in Kenya can now have custody of children below the age of 9 years. The judgment, issued by resident judge Justice Noel Ngugi, directed although the tender years doctrine is persuasive in considering custody of children, it can no longer be considered an inflexible rule of law. He added that the judicial rule, the child of tender years belongs with a mother, is merely an application of the principle in appropriate cases. While delivering judgment in a case where a couple was fighting for custody of their 2 children aged 9 years and 15 years, the judge said the tender years doctrine must now be explicitly subjected to the best interest of the child principle in determining custody cases. Great news! Tunacheki, Kunda Kids and Nala have partnered together to bring you Maua and the Gardens of Plenty, our first African children's book for free. Nala is a money transfer app that uses the latest technology and works with local communities to make payments as hassle-free as possible. The easy-to-use app allows anyone to quickly send money from the UK to Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Ghana, with many other African countries and currencies coming soon, at the lowest rates available. To get a free copy of Maua and the Gardens of Plenty for yourself, family, or friends, download the Nala app, use the code KUNDAKIDS and make a transfer of as little as £1. For those in the USA, you can download the app and RSVP for your free book coming next month. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, follow, share and like our video. It's the best way of supporting us. And remember, Africa is watching.